and he went to change it and got the right players to fit a real traditional 1 through 5 lineup.
And he also got
monstrous block from the freshman Reese on J.J. Riggins. All 5 players on the floor for the Terrapins right now are newcomers, and it's his 81st career game as he starts his 4th season. Stolen away by Reese. Now to Martinez. Back to Reese. Inside. As Zuba can't find the soft touch off the glass. And missed the rim as well. Here's Marfo the other way. Inside. Rejected at the rim by the freshman Reese.
Julian Reese on the defensive end. Oh my goodness.
Here's Powell. Driving inside on Scott. Turnaround 2 is a little bit long. Offensive rebound though by Davis. Swatted away. Julian Reese says not that time.
Mark Turgeon felt Xavier Green really stepped up in the second half of that Vermont game. Julian Reese off to a good start. Found a block there. Doing it on both ends.
So there's the behind the back pass from Green.
No, Coach Turgeon has preached to his guys, you don't want to give a team like Hofstra too much oxygen, as the big block by the Terps has them going the other direction.
That was Juju Reese who came over early. If you remember in the first 5 minutes, Danner, we were talking about the slow rotations. Maryland, but it was Eric Ayala that hit back-to-back threes to cut that lead to 1. And then just George Mason was awesome at the end of that game in their execution.
Hooks.
Nice pass.
Great passing by the Terps, and they're starting to catch their groove. Defense leads to this. Dante Scott dropping the hammer.
One of the reasons why they lost that game.
And the dunk thrown down by Julian Reese, coming in to clean up the mess off the Hart miss.
So that puts them in a position to try probably maybe do a little bit more than they need to and let the game come to them.
Hokies down 4. Tried to go with the left hand. There to clean it up is Julian Reese. Reese hands to Ayala. After going scoreless for nearly 10 minutes, it's a 6-0 Virginia Tech run until that. And a chance for 3.
I'm seeing a trend here, Doug, in this game now. Both sides are reckless.
Against the top 20 Florida team that came all the way down to the final 20 seconds. Dante Scott hit that ridiculous shot, fading away near the basket. There is Julian Reese.
Game after game, Julian Reese does a great job of getting this block.
He's staying in attack mode, and that's when he's at his best.
Lilly with the bounce feed. Owusu Anane gets blocked by Reese. Ayala goes inside, draws a crowd, gets the bucket, plus the foul.
Well, being disruptive, a double team there by Brown, trying to get the ball out of the hands of Hakeem Hart.
Hart lined to the basket, and he gets it to lay down.
What a great read by Hakeem Hart on that one. Watch right here. Julian Reese with the sweet pocket pass down inside. Hakeem Hart showing heart for the Terps, down 1.
They go back to Ayala. Good look inside the Reese, the freshman. Dunks on Coburn.
If I was Illinois, I'd be screaming for a technical foul.
Sure.
If I was Maryland, I'd say play on.
And then he bounces on you. But Coburn's got him deep. Good block by Reese.
I'm telling you, he's just got something in him right now. He's not backing down. He's getting after it. I don't think you can take him out right now. Like, he's coming from the opposite wing to make that play. He's just bringing an energy and a swagger.
Late shot clock again for the Terrapins. Russell. Ayala. Underhand. What a leave. And then the reverse for Julian Reese.
It's been a top-shelf performance tonight for Hunter Dickinson. Maryland has been perfect on a halftime offensively. Ayala again scores.
since missing 11. It's going to take him a while. Brad Underwood said he's just not in great shape right now. Boy, that was Reese with a pass.
Getting himself under control, and look at that delivery of a dime. And you notice that Rutgers is not attacking. They're still settling.
That's a huge mismatch, Scott. Omori came over for the help. Julian Reese left alone. Timeout taken.
And Jason, you mentioned it. Yeah, huge mismatch. And suddenly the defense has to adjust, get the ball out of Dante Scott's hands, and he finds the open man. The smaller player, he takes him down. Came just a rebound for him.
McConnell turned the corner.
Wow.
It's rejected the other way. Okay, he's got to be careful. Hart, count it, and the fourth foul on Mulcahy.
That's how he has made his money this year. He is driving that thing, and Julian Reese coming over and putting the shot at Tyson Walker in the stands. You can see, Jason, Maryland is engaged and got off to a little bit of a slow start, but they found a rhythm.
The way he shoots it today, he deserves those. 82-64, Ohio State on the team. Gets it inside, +1 for Reese. Yeah, Wheeler on that weak side. Stick that hand in there.
We're now playing with a 9-point lead on a weave action up front. Beautifully set up on the pass, Reese. And the Terrapins just keep punching.
Indiana, the intensity's picked up. Just as I say that, though, how about Julian Reese throwing it down on Jackson Davis? And now, wait a second, we got a technical being called, and that might... Eric Ayala been relatively quiet. His 3 points, but there, great pass. Second dunk of the half for Reese.
And then you see Reese just keeps going. Parker Stewart is...
Now it's Russell off the fake against Lowy. Great lead! And doing the rest is Julian Reese. And the Gophers take a timeout. Russell asking the fans to respond. They do that. Gophers take time. A 6-0 Maryland burst.
Yeah, here in East Lansing. Ayala, well, he's human. Rebound, Reese. Oh, great look! And a highlight for the Terps on the cut to the rim by Hart.
Now Maryland picks it up on the other end. Here's Hakeem Hart. He has 9 points on 3 of 4 shooting. A little behind the back bounce pass, almost kicked out to the far side. Dante Scott, he got it. Are you kidding me? This lead balloons into a 60-43 advantage for the Maryland Terrapins. We'll be right back. You're watching men's basketball on Big Ten Plus. On the night, Don Carey from the corner, a 3, left it a tad long, and Niagara bodies come together. Julian Reese goes up, throws it down, capitalizes.
And Julian Reese finds the ball and says, thank you, I'll throw that one down too.
Pass down low, trying to back in Claude, and once again, Julian Reese gets by him. Carey passes it down low. Reese trying to get by Pello. He goes with the backhanded layup and knocks it down. Tyler Harris, this 3 from Pello, no dice.
And that's a big man rebound for Julian Reese right there, just to rip it away from Claude.
So Jahari Long playing that guard role on the offense now, and Julian Reese throws it down. 12 media timeout. The Terrapins leading Western Carolina 14-8. You are watching Big Ten basketball on Big Ten Plus. Here's Jahari Long as Russell Jones Jr. went down. Maryland brings it back. The and one again. Julian Reese goes right to the rack.
He's doing it on both ends. Here we see a hard screen set on Jones Jr. Nothing illegal about that one. Lays out the 5'8" Russell Jones Jr. and just keeps going, rolls to the rim, draws the contact on Granger. Little spin and a kiss off the glass from the sophomore. Going to the line to finish the 3-point play.
Bringing it against Jones. Martinez pass it to Dante Scott. Hakeem Hart Down low, Julian Reese backing him in and gets the deuce. Julian Reese again, 17 points. Here's Reese, gives it to Cornish. Ike Cornish 4-3, no good. And Julian Reese, what a pass by him to Martinez. Julian Reese, what an assist you'll see right there from him, really doing everything today.
Rebounding, passing, scoring, whatever you want, Julian.
And again, we talked about Reese inside, so that inside-out balance is something we expect Maryland to do. And they're off to a pretty good start.
Going right into Julian Reese, the big man, who's just so much bigger than anybody on that front line for the Bearcats. You'd expect him to be able to have his way. And a couple of buckets for the sophomore, coming off of a career game against Western.
Of age, each of their players. And Maryland recognized they need to jump on it quickly, and quickly they have.
There is a follow slam by Reese. So Binghamton will take that. Young, nice pass. Reese sets it up, cocks it back, and puts it down. Reese in double digits is a nifty play.
High screen and roll, and obviously defense is late getting there. You know, when the ball's up high on that side, defenders should have been in the paint. At least to deter, but I guess even if he was there, I don't think you want any part of that.
By Petcash, no good. Offensive rebound, puts it underneath, and a shot got blocked. It's loose, and finally scraped up. And we're going to get a whistle, and it's going to be out of bounds.
Essentially the point guard and distributor, although this gives you a look at what Hakeem Hart can do.
Beautiful high-low action. Hart got it down to the big man Reese, soaring over everybody. Once he caught it, almost impossible to...
Carey to Young, through the lane, up with the left hand, and can't get it to go. Julian Reese. Cool as you like.
The three-point line, able to knock that one in.
Reese a time for a stop on the floor with 4 fouls, Julian Reese.
To keep you down, but then inside Young, Reese cut the lead down to 3. We got a game.
Lawrence trying to shake free. He does. He's rejected inside by Reese. Doles tracks it down though for the Retrievers. Into Reese. Double T comes down. He finds Carey in the corner for the 3.
We're sitting right behind it. You just saw just open up for him.
There you go. Speaking of things opening up, wide open Julian Reese.
Great look, and Reese slams it home.
I love him in this action. He likes to go left. Falls asleep, Amori. There's some energy. Terp fans been looking for this.
You said coming into this game that Jameer Young and Dante Scott had to get going. They combined for 1 made shot in the first half. Young's been going here in the second. Scott has not, but that's a fantastic find.
And it's last 7 after 8-0 start.
I had to wonder if that was coming at all. Great pass on the back there, caught by Julian Reese. I had to wonder if that was coming at all. Gaskets going to the first break. It's been good offense. Yeah, how about it? Good flow, good rhythm. And
Neal will find Sensabaugh. He missed it. Sewing crashes. And Sewing takes it. Denied by Reese. Holden got it back. He missed it. Reese hits it to Young.
Second half, 7-point lead because they've made plays. They've been physical. They've been tough. They've also gotten the ball moving.
If you're Maryland, you've got to clean up the glass. You can't give Iowa offensive rebound opportunities. They average 12.6 a game.
Reese left wide open, throws down the dunk, so he's got all 4 points. And Maryland off to a good start. Really intense defense there from the freshman Desante Bowen. Here is Reese working on Rebracha. And gets it to go, and he'll go to the stripe.
In Iowa City.
One of the things that Kevin Willard really emphasized last night. Reese has 10.
Young, the runner, missed everything, but Reese doesn't.
And Scott through the hands of Carey, but he recovers. Shot clock at 7. Hart tries to wrap it around. Beautifully done. Count the bucket for Reese, and he's going to the line.
In front of the rim. Nice wraparound by Hakeem Hart. You want to make them pay on the other end by going to get layups. That's exactly what Purdue did.
Hart spinning. Great drop off. Reese, two-handed jam.
When you're coming off the bench, it's a little bit more difficult to find your range on a consistent basis.
Down the lane, Young. Great drop off. Reese with another dunk.
A nice job by Jameer Young getting downhill on the drop off. Got to know him over the years. Neat young man and a tough competitor.
Wide open. Reese throws it down. Freshman guarding a senior there, and Don Carey. Here's another senior. Hart fighting. Julian Reese, the sophomore. In West Lafayette here today, but his team has taken it to another level.
I'm telling you, and I mean, I think Jameer Young has been really good in terms of his shot selection tonight.
Reese, two more.
Well, that two-man action here to start the second half. Wisconsin's a step slow on their rotation. See,
he might start too many games now with the injuries. He swapped in for C.J. Wiltshire as Reese found some space and used the left hand to throw it down. Already Long now in for Jameer Young. Reese goes to work right as the shot clock was about 6-5.
Here in Indiana, they've been perfect for their last 3 shots. Meanwhile, 1 for 8 from Maryland. Reese! High percentage shot there.
I don't think Julian Reese realizes that there was a whistle for an and one. He was running back like he had to get back on defense. I like out of the timeout that Kevin Willard said, we are getting to the basket. Indiana not handling the ball screen well. Terrific performance. 17 of Indiana's first 21.
Reese, the kick out. The 3. Yes!
Maryland has come out really sloppy here to start the second half.
Schifino, blocked by Reese. But Jackson Davis had it. Got it back, spinning. Gets Reese up, and he'll go to the line.
We asked about transferring over because he came from such a smaller school. Another good feed, and that's an athletic finish from Hakeem Hart.
And it started with spacing, and then Julian Reese against that zone defense. Look where he catches it, right in the gut of the defense. Now, you have to make a decision. He can go to the right, he can shoot it, or he can come back left. When you catch the ball there against any sort of defense.
Reese spinning. That's an acrobatic move himself.
Reese showing you, I've been around a little bit longer. You spin away from contact.
Malik Hall has got to be ready to shoot that. Great drive by Walker, set him up beautifully, and it just looked like he was not ready to let it go.
Hart, good dish into Reese, who dunks it home.
Guy who's missed 11 games this season. Rutgers a tough shooting night, 1 of 9 from the field. Here's that Hakeem Hart drive. Jackson Kohler
going at Hauser. Extra pass to Martinez in the corner. No, Reese, the offensive glass, and pounds it home.
Georgetown to finish off his college career here at Maryland. Kanye Clary off the bounce, but Reese rejects it.
Well, you take a look on the mismatch. Clary thought he could get head and shoulders past.
To me, Maryland's got to start making some of their shots in the paint. They're 6 of 20 from 2. 30% from 2 is not going to cut it on the road in this league for sure. Here's Reese knifing inside. Count the bucket and the foul. The value that he has on the floor evident immediately. Supremely talented and provides a different dimension when. And that's part of it, right? You're just trying to shorten what they can do in the half court. Yes. Reese turning the corner inside, and Reese says no. Well, if you're wondering why Griesel had all that real estate, Tominaga's in the corner. Hart, bounce, Reese, finish, and a foul. Big theme in this second half, just pick rolls to the rim. As Griesel, I think, was lucky he didn't get called for his 5th personal foul. And Reese able to slide in there and get one to go down. Could have seen a foul, could have seen a flop.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Talon Cooper's got to be screaming at him with the shot clock running down.
Another beautiful feed and a slam for Reese. He's got 6. What a nice start for the Minnesota Golden Gophers.
Tell you what, that's a nice ball screen action right. I thought Young was going to call his own number. He had Jamison Battle guarding him. I think he likes that matchup.
Plus the foul. Julian Reese up to 14 points.
He's so efficient. Reese doesn't take a ton of shots, but when he does, he is really good. Nice job.
Hart to Reese. Cooper tried to find Payne. Instead, he found the palm of Hakeem Hart. Scott can't finish, but Reese will fall.
Well, you're looking at Maryland. If you don't succeed, try again. Didn't get the initial one, but Julian Reese cleaned. They made a couple of adjustments. They started going to the rim and changing the nature of this game.
Reese with a strong block.
But there'll be better days for the young fella. That's a heck of a block right there. And then you see him trying to go back and get it. It's a heck of a block, and then watch Payne. Reese is like, man, can I?
Really, defense for both of these teams has been good this year. Speaking of good defense, Reese with a rejection. Here's Jameer Young. Yes. Both teams are taking care of the rock. Just a couple of turnovers. Bowie, and that was partially rejected by Reese. Hart, stop and pop. Yes.
In those same circumstances, but not this Terrapin squad.
5 seniors honored before the game, including this guy. Not that guy. That's a sophomore throwing it down, and Reese.
Watch Hakeem Hart. It's very difficult to double team him because he's 6'8" to begin with. And on the backside, no one there.
And Northwestern won for their last 9. They've gone cold at the wrong time. Scott drops it off, and Reese finishes through the contact.
They've isolated, gone one-on-one, late in the shot clock, and gotten high-quality looks like that.
And correction, that is 2 on Okpara, not his 3rd. Chris Holtman keeps him on the floor. Great pass and a slam by Reese. Dunk.
He is flying off the pin down, and he's curling it right to the rim. Okpara steps up, and if you step uphill to help, you expose yourself on the backside. Normally, Felix Okpara able to.
We're not worried about all the other stuff. We're worried about finding a way to win this one to stay out of Winston.
Great find to carry, and so Penn State got a layup that Pickett missed. Brought to you by Chase. Can it lead to a big comeback? Not if they don't get stops. Jameer Young's got 14.
But Garcia too, Robbie. He only has 4 points. Credit Maryland's defense. There's Reese at the rim.
Here we go, Gophers. Here we go.
The winner will get the Indiana Hoosiers tomorrow night.
Here we go.
Reese got a hand on it, taken away.
Battle was trying to screen him, and Reese just shot right through there.
11 turnovers. Now Reese on the other end. Can they take advantage? Hart, open look. Boy, that would have been big. Hart again. Yes.
Julian Reese stealing a possession on the offensive glass. Hakeem Hart going a little reverse action.
You don't get many. You only get 5 to work with.
Here's Lipscomb, and a big block there by Julian Reese.
Nothing to change there.
Lipscomb still down, and Young puts up a shot, no good. Geronimo came charging in, and Lipscomb slow to his feet behind the play.
Make your free throws, and if he does that, he's as good as it gets in terms of a big man in this country.
Here's Reese, goes up and throws it down. He's pretty good at that part. I mean, one of their last 9. The momentum is certainly with Mount St. Mary's, despite Julian Reese's best efforts.
It's pretty incredible to see a guy who's, 6'9", 6'10", getting up like that and throwing it down.
Leads by example. He does play hard.
Geronimo can't get it. But right back to the Terps on the reload. And that one goes down.
And 13 against UAB in Asheville. Nice look. Julian Reese with the hammer.
And a rebound for Maryland as Long brings it across.
Defensive transition and good spacing right there for South Alabama. No easy buckets on the
Reese
secondary.
with the touch pass. Geronimo gets it to go down. Takeaway from Maryland. Geronimo gets the steal. Feeds it up to Reese on his way through. Reese with the left hand. Draws the foul.
Let's take a look at the steal by Geronimo. Gets it on the open floor, and Juju Reese finishes nicely with the finger roll with a strong hand on the left side. Watch the lefty come up here and just finish it nicely.
Reese with the rebound there. A double-double tonight for Julian Reese. 14 points, 11 rebounds. Tyrell Jones gets blocked by Reese. Boy. Gator was able to fly through, and then Reese from behind knocks that one out of bounds.
Oh my. You can tell he was upset about the turnover that he had.
Nobody else has scored. Jones got by Young. Reese comes over and swats another. His fourth block tonight.
Massive block party here in College Park. This one though, oh my goodness. Get it out and don't bring it back up in here. Julian Reese in full. Really go a long way to attack closeouts.
Geronimo gets knocked out by Land. Back on the other end, Reese gets it right back. Gets two more plus the foul.
Harris Smith to Scott. The fifth-year Dante Scott, Jameer Young. Nice pass inside. Jordan Geronimo with the flush.
But it's such a key part of his game to be physical, Ben. He needs that.
Great ball movement. Julian Reese goes up and slams with two hands.
When you get Jameer Young going in terms of getting the ball to Reese, that's dangerous.
Nice fake from Dudley, but Julian Reese, SWAT team.
And not really much of a showboater, but you can. Well, he's sitting right at the front of the bench. You know it's not going to be a long break.
McCall slipped. Gives to Dudley, goes up, passes, nice pass. Oh, what a block by Julian Reese.
You said it kind of meets in the middle, but I'm sure Willard's not complaining.
Well, now we'll have only one free throw because he hits the layup off the glass. He's up to 17.
But if Julian Reese can prove he can knock those down, that really opens up a lot for him.
Right. Nice steal there by Julian Reese. Deshaun Harris-Smith the other way for Maryland. All the way to the rack goes Deshaun Harris-Smith.
I think that giving the ball to Mervyn James is a pretty good play that was drawn up there.
Ingram backing his way down. Here he is. James tried to go over Julian Reese, and Juju said absolutely not. Julian Reese, this is a vicious block.
Yeah, full steam ahead for James, hand to hand.
And now they battle inside. Well, it is a physical head-to-head matchup. Count the bucket. Well, Julian Reese won that battle against Sparks.
Brendan, which shoulder did he just go over? His right shoulder to his left hand, because it allows you to be able to shield the basketball with your inside shoulder. I love the poise here. He gave the bump, didn't give up on it, and went over that right shoulder, and he is.
Geronimo had been playing really well the last three games, but he's 0 of 5 from the floor tonight, and another air ball, this one by Young. And just before the shot clock expires, Harris Smith puts it in. Maryland down by as many as 23, but right now they're on the attack. Julian Reese makes it a 13-point game, and he will head to the line to try to trim it to 12.
That was so pretty. Jameer Young threw it over to Reese, and they were expecting him to hand it.
Well, he scored over 2,000 points in his high school career. He's not going to get 2,000 tonight, but he's got 8 to start. And there's an and-one opportunity for Julian Reese, staying with it and just muscled that one to the rim and in.
Julian Reese has been in the weight room in the offseason. You can tell.
Harris Smith on the run with the left hand. A little bit short. Offensive rebound poked free. Scooped up inside. Count
the bucket. Reese to the line for one more.
Well, I tell you what, Juju Reese is bringing the energy from Maryland. Been as aggressive as I'd like to see him.
Nice cross court from Reese to Kaiser. There's the three.
Nick Kern Jr.
Here's Reese to work off the inbound. Count the bucket and the foul. So strong, so long, and a chance for one more for Julian Reese.
I love the match.
That ball starts going through the hoop, and all of a sudden, your effort on this end is better.
Kick out to West on the drive. Oh, it's another massive swat by Reese. He's got a career high in blocks, and there's 7 left to shoot.
You can tell Jamal West thinks he's got Reese beat, and Reese, but Jordan Geronimo has got to be a factor on the offensive glass, just like he was there.
Yeah, he's 0 of 3 tonight from 3 and 1 of 17 on the year, and another block from Reese.
Julian Reese, well, what more can you say? Anytime Nichols has come in.
He's only taken 7 free throws so far this season. We need for him to stay more aggressive, hunting his shots a little bit more.
Reese throws it down.
That leads to a run out on the other end. Draw 2, C4 or C10.
Doubling up Coppin State so far, 6 minutes in. The freshman Harris Smith lobs it for Reese, and Reese is having a night early on.
We love to see how connected Maryland is. Nice pass inside, and that's what you have to do, have great timing. And Juju Reese up high. Did the Coppin State head coach, Larry Stewart. But it means a lot for Maryland, and you know it's discussed a lot as well.
Juju Reese through the contact. And the line, a chance at a trio.
Good patience by Maryland. Shot is off the mark. Both teams have 4 offensive rebounds, but Maryland now with a 9-4 advantage on second chance points. And this
is on the horizon. You wonder if that comes into play, just making sure he's 100%. Again, with an illness here tonight. The shoot, Reese throws it down.
Julian Reese staying activated for the Terps, making himself available on the weak side with a strong flush right there in front of the cup. Julian Reese coming with all the smoke here in College Park.
Stops Mounir Jones, kick out Winston for 3. Off the mark, Scott secures the board. Long outlet to Reese. He's gonna have some fun with this one.
So if you're Maryland and they just saw what we just saw, that's Zach Edey, 7'4", going to the bench. Maybe it changes for Julian Reese. And a good look to Geronimo. And a good start for the Terrapins. That Painter has going for him this year.
Yeah, it could be a different guy that contributes on both ends of the floor as we see Maryland get the steal there.
Christie against Kaiser. At an angle, floats, missed it. Fox went up high for the miss. Here's Christie, that's blocked. Fox trying to get it back free along the baseline, and last touch by Reese. And it's Minnesota basketball.
I tell you what, Fox hasn't scored, but he's been impactful in this ballgame, not just defensively, but he keeps his play.
Reese against Garcia.
Good job by Garcia, taking away the left hand.
But Young slashes, catches, and scores.
And a better job by Young. Garcia doing a nice job understanding that a fellow left-hander wants to get to that right shoulder. He takes it away, and then Ola Joseph got caught ball watching, and watch Young. Hey, I'll take that.
And we'll see how deep Maryland can go in this game, as here is Llewellyn off that knee, and he has it swatted by Reese off the backboard.
Test that knee out and know you're good. It can be a tough deal to play through.
You felt it, I mean, psychologically, as Reese drives here and stuffs it for 2 for Maryland to break that 12-0 run.
Walker, Jalen Llewellyn, a nice little scoop, and then the fake DHO, and Julian Reese finding some offense for Maryland.
To make it a 12-point game for Michigan.
And I was the DJ White.
I just speak for the audience, Rob, that's all. Young whips it across the lane. That's a beautiful find for Reese.
Two-man action. Jameer Young coming off the ball screen. You got Reed in, and just that reach was enough to get passes zipped right by you.
And Maryland take advantage. Cheddar comes into the game. Reed is out into the post. Right there, Julian Reese.
You see Kamwa yelling at his teammates. He's saying, I'm fronting the post. Well, he has to shoot it. You know, he's one of their best shooters, and You can't let the first half impact you here. Now that press paying dividends once again.
It's Julian Reese at the back end. It's a three-point game.
With the short closeout, they're daring him to shoot it, and then no one making themselves available to Terrence Williams. That's a turnover for a touchdown.
Llewellyn has it, blocked by Reese.
Better job there by Kamwa of understanding who's the hot hands.
Reese had Williams, and now he skips it outside. Kaiser, 4-3.
That shot looks good. Just this inside-out look. Throw the ball into Julian Reese. The skip pass. They're loading up. Late rotation. I just really like the arc. I think that's where you go, but I'd be okay with Terrence Williams as well.
It's Burnett on the stoop, and that's pushed into next Thursday by Julian Reese.
That's fourth in the Big Ten in blocks coming over and erasing a look at the rim. Burnett thinks he's got a layup, and Julian Reese
starting the break, opportunistic and good. He cashed it out.
10th in the Big Ten this year at about 2 made threes per game. That number's going to go up, and Geronimo not going to miss a second. Inbound to Reese, spins off Hawkins and got to the rim.
I love the play there by Kevin Willard. 3 or 4 different times we're able to take advantage, and it's not an easy pass with the angle. He really struggled in his Illinois career up until about 4 or 5 weeks ago.
Reese for the lead, got the roll, and Maryland's on top on the road with 1:43 to go in the half.
I mean, you see some guys that shoot 29, you're like, yeah, he's definitely a 29% foul shooter.
He meant that may be too high. Reese, nice cut. Young with the finish. That was pretty action, and it's tied at 37. Be on my website later for more great analytics work. If you're tall, you shouldn't bring it up the floor against the smaller guy.
If you're tall, you should do that. Yeah. Julian Reese just running the floor. He's calling for it early. They find him immediately, but patience pays off. The dime is there, and Julian Reese goes up and hammers it.
Dislodging. Oh, count the bucket, and he's going to the line for one more.
Just think, when you can post Julian Reese on that left block, it allows him to roll back baseline and get to his strong hand. Look at the physicality.
He's got 9 points and 4 steals in the first half. Just Barnheiser.
That double, and that's why when you have Julian Reese on the block, those two are going to be on him. What a pass. And they have got to clean the glass because Maryland can hurt you, especially this guy.
Yeah, Julian Reese is such a presence inside, and the junior gets the bucket and the foul.
Coming off that 20-point, 11-rebound game in Illinois. This post trap once again.
He's got to go to work quickly. Don't wait for the double. Reese fights through it. Puts it up and in. +1. Good call. Preparation by Kevin Willard. Nice little cross screen. Scott hurt his hand on this particular play, but look at him. I mean, he is a well-built, coordinated athlete. Take it. See, I thought he could take his guy. Kick it. Rimming off. Rebound. Reese. There you go. Monster inside. Big fella. Julian Reese. You got to keep that big body down low. Dominate. Take over. You've got the talent. Bring it out. One-on-one with Cooper. Reese facing. Too far away from the rim. The back end. The turnaround. He's got it. How about that? Bottles it up. I keep it in Hogarth's hand. Hogarth. Drives in. Reese suffocating defense. Takes it away on the block. He has been superb.
You can see some of the improvements starting to come with this Iowa team from a defensive standpoint.
I had a chance to talk to Tony Perkins before the game.
Oh my, Jahari Long leaving it up there for Julian Reese.
Look over the top. You want your big along the baseline. Jahari Long with a beautiful lead pass. That might be the easiest 2 for Reese on the night. Maryland doing their best, hanging tough.
For Jameer Young. Spins 6 and inside finds Julian Reese. 17 points per game the last 4 for Peyton Sanford, but as you mentioned, that foul trouble hampered him so far, only 4 tonight. Reese, good position early, gets the bucket, a chance for one more at the line for Julian Reese.
job by Julian Reese getting to the spot, sealing his defender.
4 minutes gone in this second half. Find inside Freeman. What a challenge by Julian Reese.
Great job by Julian Reese coming from the weak side on the block. And you look at Julian Reese cover the ground, get the block without the foul. Great timing by the big fella.
2-point game, a little nervous time in Iowa City for the Hawks.
And I think if Tony Perkins doesn't get a look, Ben Cricky's got to get one.
And there's Cricky. Clean block by Reese. It goes out of bounds off Cricky. And Julian Reese doing damage again.
He just doesn't stop moving. He is the best.
Reese goes up and slams over everyone.
This morning, a little pick and roll action with the roll and the finish by Julian Reese. That is a thing.
Young gets it off to Dante Scott, who backs his way in. Leaves it for Reese with the dunk.
Good things happen when you just sit and wait. That's what Julian Reese does. He sits in that dunker area. The defender comes up and helps.
They do have one true road win this year. It came against Kansas State. Reese just bullies his way to the basket. A double-double for Reese, his 10th this year.
It is what they've done. They've got to find a way. And it's got to start on that end. You see Julian Reese with the finish here, which is too easy. It's one-on-one.
And he's got a ways to go in certain areas, but athletically, he is in the 99.99 percentile.
Oh, what a drop-off out of the double by Julian Reese to the crashing Jordan Geronimo. It's a one-point game. Walker already with 10 for Michigan State. That's 33 straight games in doubles, and the lob to Geronimo from Reese.
Reese made the good decision to take it out a little low. Got it back. Nice second feed. And the jam from Geronimo.
Zone defense right here by the Scarlet Knights. A little bit of a matchup.
Reese tries to carve through it and does. Off the feed from Young.
And it's not just the cut, but it's the timing of the cut. Because he made himself available in the middle of the floor and kind of calmed his team down.
Williams sidestepping. What a block from Reese.
To relaunch their seasons and get back into the NCAA tournament picture. Jameer Young misses the floater, and Julian Reese with the easy stick back.
But this has been a theme early in this game. Maryland established themselves on the
Bruce Thornton, but they're going to have to make sure they're extra sharp with it, with Maryland pressing.
This is Dale Bonner rejected by Julian Reese, who came off a trampoline there.
0 for 1 from the floor. Gale 0 for 6 from the floor.
Here's Young. In and out. Reese. Put back. Count it. And the foul.
It's just got to be some extra efforts. And there, just a little handoff up top, able to get all the way to the basket. It's a fine line between being patient and being too patient.
Jameer Young
gets involved in the scoring column, and a great skip pass out of the double from Julian Reese and Jameer Young.
A lot of that has to do with the way Iowa's double teaming him as soon as he catches the basketball, forcing him to give it up.
Entry down low, and Traore with the two-hand flush.
I think that second half against Minnesota, where they were able to come back and win that game by 5.
Boy, how did Reese find Jordan Geronimo?
Maryland's got to get some production from their big three. No, Iowa's doing a great job defensively, but that'll help.
That will help. 2 of the big 3 right there. Young to Reese for the two-hand flush.
It's been impressive to see these players.
Rink Mass at Nebraska.
Yes, yes.
Reese inside, not from the valley. Count that one. And a chance for one more at the line.
Deshaun Harris-Smith has had a very good first half. It was an excellent pass at the top.
Same as we had at halftime. Young to his left, to the rim. No. Reese stays with it. Offensive rebound. Put it back. And the foul.
That's the kind of tenacious aggressiveness that you like to see.
Back to Reese. Working against Perkins. Spins inside. This game is tied.
Iowa 1-1 when we return.
Well, Julian Reese getting old school like X-Clan, dropping funky lessons out here with the spin move, and Maryland ties it up. That's okay. Maryland's glad to have it.
Reese is going to have to work one on the shot clock. The fadeaway rolls home.
Might be their night, Kevin. It starts getting Reese hitting late shot clock buckets like that.
I have not seen any Illinois player in the fast break since D. Brown do this. It's a different kind.
Reese, the stuff. Marcus Damask has been such a difference maker for Illinois this year. There's that two-man game. Reese spinning, rising and scoring, just excavating.
That's man's ball game right down there.
Pride of Highland Park, Michigan, John Blackwell.
Scott coming to get it, drops it to Reese. And now Reese is going to create some room. Do it himself. Get the deuce. And the foul.
Great call, Jack. He did create some space. And he had great patience. Watch what happens. He gets the basketball. Chucky Hepburn comes with a steal. He just lets Chucky go by, gathers himself, and goes up.
Really good resume. Here's Young. Great feed. Reese wide open, and he throws it down.
Rare defensive breakdown by Rutgers that time. Dave, watch this. You see Reese, and Mawat Mag is there, but he ain't Cliff.
Harris Smith. It's Williams in the air, dishes it to Reese, and one.
Great job by Maryland. Navigating through the defense here on the block shot. Look at Reese go after the loose ball. Good job by Palmquist getting Reese out on the three-point line.
Oh, what a spin by Reese. And Maryland takes timeout.
Palmquist did a good job defensively. He's got 4 fouls. He's guarding Jameer Young.
Reese over Palmquist, and a block is called.
They come out with victories in those places, especially this season.
Nebraska's been phenomenal at home. Reese inside, throws down the jam.
But Reese has been phenomenal in his contact on his forearm and able to finish. Julian Reese.
Reese brought it down. Nicholson commits the foul, and he's now holding his wrist. And Reese will be at the line with a chance for 3.
If Nicholson's going to foul him, he's got to keep Reese from being able to get that thing up to the rim. He leaves his feet here. Reese gets to the body. There's the shot fake. That's well done by Julian Reese.
Now Maryland has not been able to hit threes all night. Can they find one late in the game? Young leaves it for Reese. And he's fouled. What a bad foul by Nicholson.
You have just got to be content to let him go up and dunk the basketball. You made Jameer Young make.
Picked up. Nice pass inside. But torn away. Maryland's defense. Ahead it goes and breaking at the. Driving inside. Getting the 2. Nice play. Put up Julian Reese. 7-0 Maryland run. And it's been a game of runs. Galloway inside. Another turnover. Deflected. And Young, good pass. Driving inside. Geronimo then punched back in. Reese.
Down for the Terps. Shooting 17% on the season from downtown. Williams comes up short. Maryland looking to run again and trying to go up double digits early. They will. Reese all alone. Feeling himself. And a timeout from Steve Pikel. 11-0 start from Maryland.
Well, we talked about this, Noah, in the pregame. Which of these 4 teams wants to be here, and how are they going to come out and play this game? Maryland getting off to the races, and take a look at Julian Reese, who's just sneaking his way behind the defense. Rutgers not picking up. That's a great. He gets double teamed, and he's just spraying it out.
Lob it up. Amore patient. Oh, had it blocked. Reese got him from behind. Broken easily by Maryland, who has still got barely anything in the scoring column from Young. Here he is on the baseline drive. Leave it. Reese got it to go, and the foul. A chance for three. Jameer Young only has 6 points. He's only taken 8 shots, but that's his 4th assist. Also has 5 rebounds. The dribble drive on the baseline. Amori's coming over to help. It's a great, the right energy that they need to play with and find some offense more than anything else. Now down by 19. Harris Smith, pocket pass, extra, and it's Reese on the finish.
Great read there from Jordan Geronimo, feeling the fact that Amori's coming over and then just dropping it off for Julian Reese.
He's worked hard on his game. He has evolved his game in many ways since his freshman year, and there's a block on the other end. Julian Reese getting it done on both ends of the floor.
But Rutgers isn't getting anything out of their half-court offense. It's all
just ridiculous shooting this afternoon. Oh, like Gilmore went flying. And now Reese with a dunk, and then a couple words for Gilmore.
But then what happens is there's a little exchange. Julian Reese starts it. And then Carter Gilmore coming up the floor says something back to him. You're not going to see it in this sequence, but towards the end, coming back up the floor.
Dinkins working on Jay Young. Good defense there by Young. Fires up the crowd. Blocked by Reese. Harris Smith, can he keep it in?
And they just have calmed down so much. The poise that they're playing with right now is impressive.
Gillespie with the fast break. Reese with the slam. On the other side, it's Juju Reese doing what he does best. He just can't get anything to fall right now.
A big part of that is that those screens that are creating those looks, Maryland just switches so well that there's still always a hand.
Harris Smith to Reese.
They're shooting it in rhythm, and then just a few plays later.
Florida A&M continuing to make this one exciting. They are not going down without a fight. Continuing to take those aggressive shots from beyond the arc. Matthews has been a part of that as Reese adds on yet another.
And what a beautiful move there from Reese, spinning towards the baseline, protecting the ball with his body. You see right here.
Here on a pick and roll. He rolls pretty. Rejected though by Reese. And Reese comes away with it. Reese, they're having trouble getting him the ball. That's something these new guys need to learn.
It is a learning process.
Fighting over the rebound. When you've got two guys that hungry for the ball, I don't know if that's necessarily a problem. Not at all. There's Reese, offensive end. Another 2 for Juju. Let's take a look at this last bucket from Reese.
And again, great find from Shelton Mayell. I feel like we're saying
Thompson, nice move. Inside, cannot get the finish. It's a 36-2 run. No good, a nice block. There's Reese, an and one.
Everyone on this team has been good today. Miguel with 9, Reese with 8. He's got an opportunity for 1 at the line.
Top of the key. He's gonna spin, put it up, no, but Reese climbs the ladder. He comes down with it, puts it back up and in and one.
Julian Reese almost has a first half double-double. He does have a first half double-double, excuse me. 13 points, 10 boards for the senior from Baltimore. What a night.
What a half.
And what a half, that's what I'm saying. It's not even half.
He's trying to change that here. It just isn't going for him. He's 1 for 6 from the field so far. Gillespie spinning away. Gives it inside for Reese. The dunk.
Okay. And he's been good tonight. He's been open from 3. 6 points for him, 2 for 3 from deep.
Reese, unselfish. Derek Queen with the slam.
That Derek Queen has. And then here, just beautiful offense from Maryland. Queens, this has been his best game so far as a Terp.
It's been, I think, the longest look of him. And if you're a Maryland fan, you got to like what you've seen as Reese collects another hoop and arm.
Feels like Maryland's just getting a ton of and ones tonight. And that's a credit to their ability to get in position.
Julian Reese and Watcher just battling down low.
There is Reese, and he finishes through the contact plus the foul.
Boachi trying to do his best to stay on the high side in front, but just got caught. Work different lineups and see different things that work offensively and defensively early in the season.
Queen with the offensive rebound. What a nice pass inside to Reese.
Well, little plays like that, that's what grown men on the park do.
Physical inside as Julian Reese finished it through the contact.
Or the aggressor on the interior.
Through the contact. Nice job by Queen moving his feet, and he starts the break.
Son, are you a sweet potato guy or a pumpkin pie guy?
Oh, sweet potato all the way.
Not even a question.
Nice touch pass inside to Julian Reese.
Here, the ball's going to be rotated over. You're going to see ball screen here. He kicks it back. If both guys are going to stay home, like who's digging that brick?
Let him eat. Dixon, baseline, pinned. How valuable has Julian Reese been for Maryland today? Rice out of control, but guess who?
And get easy baskets. That's how you stay in the game, and that's how you keep everybody in there.
Lob it down low for Reese. Tough defense. Didn't matter. Count it, and a chance for three on the other side.
Too big, too strong. I'm 6'9", and you're not. That's all that was right there. Took it in, posted up. Oh, you're pushing me out.
In the fast break without the basketball.
Reese backing in, decided size advantage this day for Maryland. You see it in action there between Reese and Queen.
But I really love this kind of connectivity between the post players, right? The double team comes to Juju Reese, and he makes a nice little pocket shovel pass on Maryland's ability to switch 1 through 5 because of the nimble footedness of the freshman.
And then you could get that from Juju Reese as well. Rodney Rice in the run out. Slows it down. Rice around the screen from Reese, and Rice.
Attention to detail on the defensive end. But these big blocks, that's the first one and probably not the last. It has been a dynamic duo for Maryland defensively and on the offensive end as well.
Reese on the drive, and he laid it in.
I have seen more inverted pick and roll in the last 2 days than I ever can remember. Not a position, and then you just see it all the time. The inverted pick and roll that Maryland is bringing every possession right now. There's a pressure release, but what a block from Reese.
Easily could have been going the other way.
This Maryland defense, one of the top 10 in the country. Off the backboard there, missed by Braden Smith.
There's Reese just sitting on that left shoulder.
And there is Julian Reese right to the rim.
Julian Reese. From the field on this end of the floor. Parker working against Reese, has it swatted out of the air. That's the defense they were missing against Purdue when he got in the foul trouble.
Yeah, I think Coach Willard switched to man-to-man, but if you see that length and size, he'll be right back in that 38-39% range.
Nice near steal from Gillespie. Now he's got it. Loops it up to Rice. The hook pass and an easy finish plus a foul.
But if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Keep going to the basket. It's so important for Maryland to put pressure on these. Jacoby Gillespie is smart. He knows who to find in that situation.
But Reese drifting back like a defensive back. Now the pull-up at the opposite end. Defense to offense.
Clayville, I think they got some young talent that's going to be able to help this team win some games and lead.
Rice, it's a three-point party in College Park right now.
St. Mary's.
Here's the most recent three-look. Feet getting set there for Rice.
Iverson action there, just off those two screens at the elbow, just trying to clear space and ISO inside.
Juju Reese continues.
Defense wasn't there for him to contest it. And then, no, you can't take it straight. But that was a great pass in terms of timing and execution.
Nice play by Queen, swats it away. Can he get to it? Now he does. Derek Queen the steal. Derek Queen the drive. Derek Queen, no good. Reese there to clean it up. Minute to go. Reese backing in on flipping. Reese spins underneath, goes up strong. Count it.
A big-time bucket for the big fella inside, Juju Reese. Going to work in the painted area. That's where Maryland has the advantage, so that bump dribble created the space for him to get and then that punch of an explosive first step to get by you. It's tough to guard.
Juju Reese, no look underneath, and Geronimo rattles the rim.
It really looked like that could have been something there, but look at Juju Reese staying composed right there. A little pitch pass with their rotations. They've been switching. It seems 1 to 4 or 1 to 5 at times, but you got to communicate, especially with UMES going quickly like that in the quarter court.
Queen, no good. Reese the board. Reese spins underneath. He has a chance at a three-point play.
Starts that record-setting lead against Ohio State en route to a blowout win. They've led 12 times in 13 games at halftime, and Julian Reese throws it down.
Reese back in. You've got Reese and Queen on the floor. The lead for Juju and the dunk.
That was just absolutely gorgeous.
Under 10 on the shot clock. Rice. Good screen and roll for Reese.
Right out of the gate, right back to that pick and roll.
See Maryland in a little bit of a zone, and already UCLA trying to figure out what it is with 3 up top and 2 down low. Really nice job to start the game at home defensively.
And he got the overrule, so I think Cronin did a nice job of bench coaching there to induce the out of bounds. Oh, count it! Off the window! Reese with a little banker. And it's 51-43. He's got a dozen.
Well, Juju Reese, just one of those guys that calms.
Rod Palmer, Brendan Taylor among that group. And here comes what could be a knockout punch.
Now again, don't have that low. How can they stay in this ball game?
Another turnover. That's not going to do it. On the drive and the finish. Timeout, Minnesota. You said it. You can't have those lulls. What was a 7-point lead a moment ago is down to 2.
Got the steal. Nice little dish. Transition opportunities.
See it staying in the ball game with 2 fouls. Oh, Reese just took it out of his hands. Minnesota has it back, and they're going to stop this
shot clock.
Shot clock reset to 30. Now, was there a full transition to Maryland having the basketball?
First, you got the switch here. Young's on it, but they come. Both big guys come to help. Got the good
back on the floor with his 4 fouls. Nice cut. Reese erased it.
Good execution, but then even better defense coming, recovering, getting the block.
Now, Julian Reese just 4 points tonight, but 8 rebounds and a major effort on the defensive end. Asamoah with the foul. That is the 7th on Minnesota.
You can't leave one of the better shooters. I know he's struggling as of late. He got that layup to go down. Boom.
And Reese inside.
This is a nice decision by Gillespie. He told McGill to get out. He wanted Reese to go one-on-one.
Reese, fall-away jumper. Nice move by Reese. He's leading all scorers tonight.
Julian Reese is in his bag. Behind the back, Fitzmaurice in good position. And well, I'm just going to turn.
Gillespie, the crossover. Fitzmaurice blocked on the backside. Barnheiser right in the teeth, and Reese puts it in the 4th roll.
Good defensive backflow by Maryland that time. I thought, I totally agree.
Reese,
what a
underneath, and the spin move good for Reese.
I can't give him Olajuwon credit, but that's pretty good right there. Big fella. Seeing 2 defenders doesn't matter. Baltimore's finest getting busy at the rim.
Barry puts it on the deck. Barry blocked by Reese.
They had 1 in the last 5 minutes. St. Andrew Morgan, 12 points in the first half off the bench.
Quite the response by the Cornhuskers here. Things were going south, but they've kind of fixed the turnover issues.
This team relocates as well as anybody. Nice run again by Queen. Defined by Gillespie. Boy, sprint to the 10.
Yakuchonis away to Johnson down low. Reese blocked it away.
Just held his ground, stayed vertical. They struggle a little bit, but these 2 are playing well on both ends of the floor. Here, Reese negating an opportunity. He's held his, not much size on the floor either. Reese got to stay low.
Boswell exploded and created the space for two and a foul for Reese.
They could actually pass over the heads of the perimeter guys. 6'1", 6'2". How about that look? Simple, and you're not accustomed to playing zone. That's another factor here.
That gets this big crowd pumped up. Gillespie bounces to Reese. What a look from Jacoby Gillespie.
You take a look at this drive here. He just goes right into the middle of the lane. That's too easy. And then Ballo gets caught in no man's land, comes up to stop the drive, can't get back to his man. He got the most. The problem is they've been giving up those threes and offensive rebounds.
Good defense there by Geronimo. That's why Kevin Willard wanted him out there today after a DNP against Illinois. Here's Reese. Nice dish to Queen. That's two.
A team that can turn you over just like Maryland. So going to have to ball security at the top of the list for the Badgers.
Crowd gave him space, and Reese took advantage.
Julian Reese has made strides in so many aspects of his game. He's been a better foul shooter, and here just the ability to put this thing on the floor. You know, get some contact there. Steven Crowd bumps him.
And giving Reese some space. It did not matter. Took it inside.
Gilmore does a lot of little things that help you win ball games. I know he scored a basket here in the post just a couple possessions ago, but those back taps and those hustle plays are what he's known for.
Reese with the block.
I think he threw it off McGee.
It looked like it, or tried to. Well, they're going to have a conversation. Nobody has pointed which direction that ball is going. Now they do. Wisconsin's basketball.
It's a great block by Reese, and then I don't know.
Ducks with a big game tomorrow at UCLA. Gillespie again into the paint, dunked it down for Reese. He's fouled, and the opportunity for three.
Since Jacoby Gillespie shot that air ball, he's made a play in the paint, and now he sets up Julian Reese in the pick and roll.
Obviously, he can shoot with range. Just needs to get a few more to drop.
Harper misses his first two. Nobody picked up Reese. That's an outlet. Cannon in the foul. Reese beat everyone down the floor, and Maryland. Nice find. Reese with the block from behind.
Good job by Julian Reese.
He's been 10 seconds on the shot clock he's been calling for. Dumped it down to Reese, who has the size advantage over Williams. Count it! Another assist for Queen, and a chance to put the lead back at 14.
Queen and Reese have great chemistry. Look at this look right here. Pull it into the paint.
Out to Hoiberg for three. Halfway down, pops back up and into the hands of Maryland's Selton Miguel. Oh, nice to the rim for the two-hand flush.
Utilizing the window, it shows you can play at all three levels and deliver a pass into the corner.
Here's a Sejan. Wants two on the board. Reese racing at the rim, and Queen will bring it up.
Well, Sejan thought he's going to be able to go all the way, and you saw Mia signaling, hey, throw. Not just because of their ability to rebound. You may not find a better big passing combo, not just in the Big Ten, but nationally, what you see with Queen and Reese.
Right, how about that pass from Jacoby?
Jace Richardson at Michigan State, Yates at USC. And you're right, there are some good ones. That's a 10-foot hook shot for number 10, Reese.
Granted, one of the things that Maryland does, it looks like a zone. It started in a 2-3 zone. It's a matchup. They have keys to when they will go matchup.
And here's Yates, 1-on-3, blocked by Geronimo. And now you've got 3-on-1 the other way. And the pass throws it down. Yeah, Miguel set that up, coach. Inside to Reese, he collects, patient, count it, through the contact.
David Cox
the scout for Maryland. The last question that I asked him last night was, what?
Pat getting some extended minutes, just a sophomore, but he's played really well tonight when he's been out there. Reese with a jam on the other end.
You see man, see ball. He didn't. Watch his footwork. High low.
And it almost worked, but it popped out to his buddy Queen. And right back inside.
In the upcoming minutes here, both of those guys are still learning the position on the fly.
Good point.
Nice dump down and finish. There's the senior, Julian Reese, 2+1.
So when you get that dribble penetration and attack on the rim, Northwestern usually tries to close it down. That leaves an opening right.
Geronimo was huge against Michigan, and he's in there for the first time on his senior day. Lob it inside. Nicholson, nice catch. Oh, sent away by Reese. Wyndham on a second chance.
Well, Matthew Nicholson getting a nice lead pass. Gathers, goes up strong.
And Gillespie on the reload. Just such a great conductor of this offense. Off the screen, Gillespie, pocket passage. Reese attacking the rim and angry at the cylinder.
Not here, not right now. And then Reese, beautiful feed from Gillespie.
Northwestern trying to get to 3 games over 500. Oh, block inside. Reese right there at the last line of defense. Miguel.
You know, that's how he shoots his jump shots.
That's a good point. Oh, what a play for Queen.
Play. And watch Julian Reese. Sees the whole way.
He's putting his defender in jail and just not letting him get back into play. These last 5 games, we've seen the Kylan Boswell they thought they were getting from Arizona. Inside, and Reese muscles it through Ivisic. That's a strong take right there. Inside, and the foul called. Boy, that is number 3, and it was just terrific execution by Maryland. 2 on the ball. They bring pressure with that pick-and-roll defense here. Julian Reese, excellent job. He's getting out quickly, and if Ivisic goes for the shot fake, that's 3. And Illinois' front court in a world of hurt with foul trouble now.
Maryland has not been able to score and get back and set up their defense. Getting out early, easy baskets for the Wolverines have paid off.
It is a 9-0 run for Michigan. Gillespie feeds it. The pocket pass to Reese. Good and 1.
Kevin Willard didn't like what he saw. Puts the 2 bigs back on the floor. Nice little dribble drive and find of Reese.
Well, right there, I mean.
So it's the freshman Kaysen with the responsibility. Loop it. Knock away by Reese. And they're off to the races now. Gillespie shovels it. Rice the finish. Here come the Terps.
Got to get him in. It's just a different lineup. You see 2 hoops without them on the floor. Nice little give, Rice.